So what's your guys' names?
Lupita and Carlos. Lupita and Silos, my bad.
Okay, so where are you guys originally from?
Here in Phoenix, Arizona.
I'm from Phoenix, Arizona as well.
Okay.
Born and raised.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. How old are both of you guys?
I'm 22.
And I'm 25.
Wow. So how long have both of you guys been on the streets?
Well, to be honest, we're not really in the street. We just choose to be out here in the streets, but usually we go out home, somewhere to go stay at, crash out.
Yeah.
Basically, towards the end of last year, till now I've been kind of like in and out in the streets. But when I met Silos, he basically took me into his house,
So how long you two been together?
since January.
Late January.
So let me dive into a little bit deeper questions. How long have you guys been using?
Using what?
Anything. I mean, talk about your drug of choice, your drug history.
Well,
Say I started out from the beginning, gateway drug, marijuana. From right there. And then from after that, I started moving on to cocaine. And after that, I didn't do it no more, so I moved on to meth. And after meth, I started fucking around with some, blues, which is the M30s that I have.
So, can you guys explain the blue epidemic out here, which is what it is?
it's bad. It's really bad out here. Every corner you go around here, you'll see somebody with blues. It's really easy to get them out here. There's 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds out here, runaways, and you're smoking blues, And it's sad, to be honest, to see that. And I've been using for like 5 years already almost. And I quit a couple times, but I always go back to it. It's like the high is good at first because it's like it takes everything away, Like when you go through a lot of shit, you always want that getaway. And M30s, that helped a lot for the shit that I was going through at the time. But when I basically got off of it, it was like a year of without me using, and I don't know, a tragedy happened, and I just got hooked up like that quick. It's such a quick hookup that it's hard to get out.
So, explain a little bit more about like what blue means. Why do they call it blue, and what is it?
Just a little short name, another slang word for it, so you won't be out here finding the M30s or, Percocets and stuff, Might as well just say blue or something, different name.
So blues are like Percocets?
Yeah.
It is a Percocet.
Okay.
It's a pain killer, but what they do, and mainly like the cartels do and shit like that, because that's mainly where all the M30s come from. It's from Mexico to here to the United States. But
well, there's the original ones that come from the doctor to prescribe, which is the Percocet 30s.
Ones.
So eventually they ended up putting a little bit of fentanyl in it,
A lot of
cutting it. That's how they started.
That's what makes it more dangerous. It's 100 times more lethal than heroin.
Okay, I'm gonna dive into a little bit personal questions a little bit. Tell us about you guys have relationships with family or support?
Just my dad for me.
Yeah, I got support at the house because me and my pops don't really get that much along and stuff. Me and my mom.
Let me ask you guys something. You guys boasted that you guys like to stay on the street. So where do you guys stay each night?
Anywhere really.
Anywhere. Usually
we find a spot out here and we smoke and we crash out and shit. It makes you like sleepy and slump. So
I get my little power nap in and I just look out for her. Like.
But we look out for each other.
Yeah, we look out for each other, but at nighttime I'm the one who stays up, and usually daytime she stays up and switch out.
So like somewhere like random, like right here.
Yeah, this is a random spot.
Then she take a power nap, and then I'm up, then I take a power nap. She stays up, just look out each other. Or sometimes be the times when we both fall asleep. Then
it's basically like when you're younger, how you smoke weed and then you do coke. It's like that. You out here you do the M30s and do the G.
So.
Oh yeah, G is Hale. Methamphetamine out here is we either say G or Hale, or I think some people even say cheap white girl.
Some shit people
or
saying
shit.
some
Yeah,
shit.
they say shit.
So, What you guys have to do out here to survive? What's your hustle?
Also, shit, all kinds of things, you know, to make money.
A lot of things that you shouldn't be doing, criminalized shit, that you get caught for it. But like coming up at the stores and stuff like that, you know. I ain't proud of it, but you know, we find a way to support our high.
That's too, cause you know, once you start getting dope sick and all that, you start doing anything, you know, you can to get a couple bucks just to get that dose again, you know. Cause when you put me down, it sucks.
The pain, like we call it the Maria, basically when you get sick. It's bad. Like within 4 hours without smoking, you start getting the chills. You start shaking. Some people start vomiting.
Body start aching and all that.
Within the next day, with like 12 to 24 hours, depending how much of a chronic user you are, you literally won't be able to move. Like your muscle is like to the bone of how much the pain.
You get all stiff and stuff. You get the cold sweats.
The treatments out here don't really honestly work. Like they use the treatment that they use for heroin addicts, but like I said before, it's like 100 times stronger. So it takes away a little bit for a couple of days, but once you get into like 4 days, nothing really helps. You just
methadone is another way they use it, you know, in order to substitute it. That's why I think they substitute it with something else in order to get out that, but. I feel like
only goes so far.
I feel like you get onto methadone, then that's another thing you're getting into, you know.
And a lot of times methadone doesn't do much for us because the fentanyl inside the M30 is so strong.
So.
And deadly.
You guys are both young.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm asking you guys a personal question again. Do you guys see yourselves? I mean, you guys are really, really young, man. I mean, like literally, like you guys have a future. You guys see yourself doing this the rest of your life?
Hopefully not, you know. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully we get our shit together sooner or later.
I mean, me and him have actually been talking about like moving out of state just to get away from everything. We have a really huge job opportunity up in Alaska. It's my dad. He's getting into the weed industry and stuff, so they need a lot of workers out there, and I know there is no blues out there. So if we go out there, there's nowhere for us to go, you know, to get any. So we would have to pull through and we'll get clean for sure, you know.
So what is some of the crazy stuff that you've seen out here that, you know, you can tell the viewers out there about that would stop someone that's like at a young age trying to run away?
One time me and him were walking behind CVS right there, and we actually didn't know, but there was a dead body right there. You know, they don't really know what was the cause of it, but there's a lot of people that OD. You know, a lot of people OD in the bandos. They'll be in there for days and nobody knows where they're at. You know, a lot of
people will think that they're just sleeping or something, you know, crashed out or something. So most of the time we don't go bother them or nothing, you know. So we know how it is. I hear some people be up a couple of days, you know. So when we see somebody sleeping, sometimes we'll be like, oh, they're probably getting the rest, you know, because they've probably been up for a couple of days.
It's scary, to be honest, walking around here and seeing somebody lay down on the floor because you don't know if they're dead. You don't know if they just OD'd or something.
Is that from smoking or from?
That's from smoking blues, from the fentanyl. We try to
know.
keep it discreet, but, you know, and not do it around kids and stuff like that. You know, we see kids coming, we just drop them something, you know. Because, you know, this is our high, we know that, but we don't want to, like, show it to them, you know.
At the same time, we don't want to fuck up our reputation around here, you know.
Yeah. And then, like,
we're
a
from
lot of
around
times,
this area.
like, you're under the age of 18, we kick you off the block, like, go back home. Like, we make youngsters go home because, like, they don't need to be doing this. And we understand, we know, we don't really got a right to say that, but at the same time, you know, if we can kick a kid out and get him home and where he's safe and not doing this shit, you know.
So have either one of you guys been to jail?
Yeah, I've been in jail.
I just got out of jail.
I mean, in and out.
But it was for trespassing, it wasn't for...
No, eventually I was going in and out. As soon as I started fighting with these blues, I was going in and out, and eventually I let out to go in prison, which I barely got out last year. Luckily, thank God I got 1 year, you know, they gave me a year. But yeah, it taught me, you know, good amount of stuff, and I managed to stay clean, get off of them for a while, even though when I got off, I was clean for a bit, but then I ended up relapsing, you know. But that was my choice, you know.
Out here, a lot of females go through a lot of harassment, you know. Guys are always trying to, you know, to me, he was the only dude out here that actually respected me, you know?
Is there a lot of women being abused out here or taken advantage of?
Yeah, I guess you could say in a way, yes. A lot of, you know, when you're going to the Malia, the sickness is so bad that a lot of females get into, you know, prostitution and shit like that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of men out here, older men, not like youngsters, like older men, that try to get with females that they buy blues just for that. They don't even smoke it. They just do it to get, you know, they say, oh, if you come with me, I'll throw you some blues. And it's heartbreaking to see that, you know, to see a female, you know, give herself up just for drugs.
Just to get her fixed.
Yeah.
So there's young kids out here that are basically being abused that are underage out here because of the drug addiction. I got a question. You have 2 backpacks. Is that all you guys have?
This is just what we carry with us. We have stuff at the house.
That's what you guys carry.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah.
So explain where you know where you carry your stuff. And you have where do you keep all your stuff? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, I'm at my house, usually at my parents' house. But most of the time I just carry backpacks because I don't like carrying like bags or other stuff, you know, with me. So I just put it in the backpack and just move.
If you have any friends out there that are doing blues, I would say tell them, you know, don't get help for them, help them out, but don't do them. Don't, like he said, you get hooked fast, really fast. And if your friends or your surrounding, or the people that you're surrounded with are doing them, I would say get away from them as far as possible. You know, because you will eventually get influenced to do it. That's what happened to me, you know. And it's extremely hard to get off. And being where I'm at right now, 5 years later from starting and trying it, it's not a good spot for me, you know. Right now I should be with the job and house, you know, but instead I'm out here in the streets, you know, doing blues. And for what, you know, just to get high. And it's, you know, I don't know how else to put in words, but just possibly just stay away from it. Don't try it. You know, peer pressure is hard and everything, but just stay away. Honestly, just stay away. This life is a broken dream. I mean, everybody thinks, you know, a lot of youngsters out here think it's cool to smoke, and you know, like they want to be like the older people, like, you know, all cool, and think it, you know, everybody is putting it out there that drugs are cool when it's not, you know. And a lot of people and a lot of kids, they want to be drug dealers out here, you know. They say, I wish I was a drug dealer. I made that much money and everything. But at the end of the day, there's a price to pay. Either, there's only 3 choices that's going to happen to you if you try to become that and you think of becoming that, you know. You're going to go to prison or you're going to end up dead, you know, or you're going to be a user yourself, you know. A lot of drug dealers out here that thought that they could become big and everything, you know, ended up smoking one perk and now they're fucking users too, you know.